This is it.
Huh? This is a wooden training dummy.
See those marks on the dummy? Those are the result of several days' worth of practice. Let's say the sages didn't replace it every day. Shouldn't it be hacked to pieces?
That's true, but what if they did?
Then the sages would have had to reproduce every mark I left during previous training. I'm a professional fighter. My martial school has always the force, angle, and entry point of each strike is calculated and it's just as they say. Each swordsman has their own unique style, and even the same swordsman can't make the same cut twice.
Is it really impossible? What if they use some fancy machine to cut?
People often say that a camera's photo can never replace an artist's painting because the former has no speed. The same thing applies here. At a mere glance, I can differentiate carved marks from the results of combat training. Whew, I hope that cleared things up for you. Hey, is this that new brain exercise game that's been super popular with the scholars lately? Anyway, it's getting late. I should escort Miss Dunyarzad to Nilu's stage. See you later.
Well, back to square one. Is our memory... But at least we've reached some other conclusions in the meantime. Yep, that's true. So, can we think of... Strange? Paimon feels like everything's been strange lately. Huh? Leaving the city? You're right! It's really strange how we never thought of such a simple solution! Paimon can't believe it! Did we miss this because we're tunnel visioning too hard on our other theories? Or because we're just too tired? How about we go back and ask Nahida? Maybe we forgot...
Ich hoffe, das kriegen wir hin vor dem Klick. Oder Tick oder Geräusch.
Nahida! You're back early today. Did you... Sort of. We're mostly sure now that we're not in a time loop. And we also aren't in the real world. But at the same time, we have a new question.
Leaving the city. As far as I remember, you've mentioned...
We did? But we don't remember anything. What happened after...
Let me think. I don't think you ever actually told me what the outcome was. Oh, but you two sometimes stay out the entire night anyway, so at the time, I didn't think too much about it.
It is true that sometimes we lose track of time during our investigations. Before we know it, it'll already be the next day.
Really? That's kinda strange. In theory, I should have already awakened all your memories.
Yep. Something here's definitely fishy. Let's get to the bottom of this tomorrow. Our memories are back!
Ja.
About that. Well, where should
Traveler, aside from your memories that were just restored, I have another message for you. Listen to it and you'll understand.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zero's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Ja.
Traveler, you should be missing 2 days worth of memories. It's time to carry out our plan from yesterday. Okay, let's go.
Au! Wir spielen jetzt eine Erinnerung. Das ist sehr interessant. Das ist sehr interessant aufgebaut. Was wohl passiert ist? Wurden wir
Why
aufgehalten?
can't we leave the city?
Don't ask me. It's not like I can tell you anything. This is a direct order from the...
I have a real emergency. My goods have already arrived at port.
That's your problem. Make sure you make a...
But it's not like you can just predict business matters in advance.
It looks like the Academia already announced the lockdown. Let's go and Hello, sir. Why can't...
Here we go again. Don't act. We just received an order that no one is allowed to enter or exit Sumeru today. They didn't tell us anything else. Angering me won't get you anywhere. If I...
It looks like he really doesn't know. If we can't get anything out of him, let's... This is a good spot, and the guard hasn't noticed us at all. Let's hurry! Huh? Why? Are you going to leave Paimon behind? But... What if things get really weird out there and you get... Oh... Paimon knows that Paimon can't do much, but... We've always been together. Okay. Promise Paimon that you'll come back as soon as possible. And please. Memories! Traveler!
Was?
Paimon would never see you again. Paimon waited for you for hours and hours at the city wall and you never came back. You promised Paimon that you...
Paimon, calm down. She's here now. I don't think she understood what you were saying.
Paimon doesn't care. Paimon wanted to go look for you, but you also said that Paimon should stay. Paimon was so worried and so scared the entire day.
No.
Okay. Paimon will forgive you. The most important thing is that you didn't actually disappear.
Aww.
Paimon, can you tell us? I see.
After that, you left the city. Paimon kept her eyes on you the whole time, but then you disappeared in an instant.
Glaube ich nicht.
No way! Paimon was...
What's your perspective, Traveler? You sure you don't have any memory? I guess that explains everything. You also lost your memories the last...
So, if we leave the city, our memories will be completely erased? It really sounds like something big out, but this way, we'll also never discover what's outside. Something like a message? But how can we send it back?
Don't look at me like that. I'm not used to being stared at. Well... Okay. He wants...
Yep, now we're...
Ah ja. Dann hat sie das mitgegeben. Und wir haben eine Nachricht gesendet. Richtig? Das ist alles so verwirrend.
I'm done. Here you go.
What? Isn't this just an Akasha terminal?
He made some little changes. Akasha terminals are already capable of sending messages.
To make something like this? Nahida, you really know the Akasha...
Yep. I'll help you save the messages. It should be pretty easy to use. I just can't guarantee the user's status.
We'll never know until we try. At least we're taking the initiative now.
Yeah.
Let's go then. Let's expose those sages. All right. Paimon isn't as worried about... Okay.
Ah, okay. Ich verstehe.
That covers everything that's happened so far.
Yes. Although the signal was choppy and had some interference, we still managed to receive 2 messages from you when you were...
Okay, now that you understand what's going on, let's hear the messages.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zero's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them. I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. impossible and surreal sights. All these spaces are empty, except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people.
Mhm. Also doch Träume. Das ist so verwirrend.
That's one heck of an info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru city space when you set foot out, but everything looked completely normal when Paimon was looking out from the inside. That's unbelievable.
There's another part here. I only received it last night.
Mhm.
These spaces have been disappearing, one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky. And now, even the final space has also disappeared. Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now. Those spaces are actually...
Oh.
Why did the message end right there?
Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment.
Oh, right. Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha.
The message. It should have come from the Traveler's Akasha terminal.
After the beep, Traveler said,
Traveler, what do you think that final space could have been?
All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human presence. Was that space actually the real world? But wouldn't a real space just randomly disappearing like that? My impression is that each day in this samsara only ends at the sound... My impression is that each day in this samsara only ends at the sound of that beep from the Akasha. Was that space actually the real world? All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common.
oh, so that's what it is. After the sound of the beep, the final space, the Sub-Zero's festival, also disappears. Later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces Paimon's head is spin.
Well, consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, so no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end...
Wow, the Archon War, huh?
Oh, ich sollte so langsam mal
That's an
pausieren.
analogy and a half.
Huch, der Dings hat ja schon geklingelt. Ich pausiere mal. Ja, das nimmt ja auch kein Ende hier. Meine Güte. Kommt einer kaum zu pausieren.
Hey, where are you going?
Gute Frage. Gute Frage. Wo wollen wir hin? Und was, wenn wir den Weisen folgen? Irgendwo muss doch... Ne? Das ist so verwirrend. Also die machen irgendwas. Irgendwas machen die.
Do you want some alone time to think?
Alles gut.
The dance of Sub-Zeros is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay then. See you later.
Ach ja.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is ticking away. Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know. Oh,
Bist du dir sicher, dass du es herausgefunden hast? auch mir die ganze Zeit sicher, dass es an irgendeinem Gerät liegt. Und ich glaube, dass es diese Wissensdose ist mit diesem göttlichen Etwas, das den einen Typen hat durchdrehen lassen. Was hier unser Kumpel da mitgehen lassen hat. Ohne es uns zu sagen, dass er es mitgehen lassen hat. Und dass die daran rumexperimentieren.
You're back! I've been waiting forever for... Are you ready to take your Sub-Zero's exam and graduate from the festival? Okay, first off...
Okay, Nahida's... We've already experienced the Sub-Zero's festival. All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. The moon illusion... People in Sumeru don't dream. Those spaces remind me of... dreams. Like the one I had in the video. We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream. Rather, the Akasha is taking their dreams from them.
Ja.
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, but the truth is the Akasha steals their dreams without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so weird when she was trying to describe them. Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after...
Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this? It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace.
Ja.
And it grants knowledge. It is the manifestation of the God. The Akasha relies on the...
That doesn't sound...
Oh, okay. Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from... But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom?
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are rich bundle...
So in other words, the complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions. And the fact that no one... The real story is that the sages from the academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use, huh?
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized. Those dreamscapes kept vanishing. But as soon as that beep sounded, more new spaces appeared.
Aha.
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sub-Zero's festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival. The dreams that belong to them.
So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is...
Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an
Also
excellent
doch.
habit to get into.
Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this dream doesn't...
All right, last question.
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon's divine revelation. So then...
So you noticed?
Ja.
I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I couldn't ask.
That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hit. It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ja.
Yes, those can wait. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about here and now.
Ah ja. Okay.
You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds.
Ah ja.
Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker?
Ja.
Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this instead of you learning it on your own, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of... That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing.
Alles gut.
Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality. People have already experienced this Sub-Zero's festival, so it would be very difficult for them to find anything that strikes them as surreal. Secondly, you're probably wondering why people don't have any memories from earlier samsara, right? That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the time anyway. And in any case, their actual dreams are being taken away. So whenever they wake up in this dream of the Sub-Zero's festival, they don't remember anything from their previous identical dream.
That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia forest, but couldn't see what it was about after...
Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro elements. Meanwhile, everyone else has no idea that they are in the Sub-Zero's...
Can humans really keep dreaming forever like this?
You might say your mental fatigue has already answered this question.
Ja.
Especially those whose health is compromised to begin with.
People's lives are at stake here, and nobody knows a thing!
Definitiv.
I know, right? Why did they have to base this dream on my birthday?
Even you don't know the reason?
The Academia sages are determined to harvest lots of dreams in a short time. No matter. Traveler, do you have any information?
Those spaces remind me of... dreams. Like the... Okay, Nahida said... Grand Sage said, go celebrate...
Celebrate the birth of that god? Could it mean... Deceiving the people of Sumeru with no regard for their safety. No matter what they're trying to do. After we end the Sub-Zero's festival, Samsara...
How can the sages of the Academia do this behind their Archon's back? This is ridiculous!
In the end, I'm just the moon. The real sun is long gone.
A sun and a moon?
Yeah.
We're out of time today!
I'll tell you how to break free of the Samsara tomorrow. See...
Okay. Werden wir wieder was von mitbekommen? Nein. Schade.
Good morning, Nahida.
Oh, wo ist Dunja
Now that
sagt.
Paimon remembers everything. Hey, what's wrong, Nahida?
Wo ist Dunja sagt?
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
Oh.
Did Dunyarzad already disappear?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Sie ist tot.
Paimon can't believe it. Wait,
She's actually something like a puppet, but not complete. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream. So another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that
but personality Personality-wise, she's nothing like the...
Puppets are stiff and can't copy a living person's vitality. You know,
Gesundheit.
speaking of which, the old Dunyarzad might not have been too different from a puppet.
Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness, and it was you who inspired her.
Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thought. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still
Ja.
far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon. I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have...
Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida.
Ja.
I'm not beating myself up.
Don't be like that, Nahida. Even...
To prevent more
stimmt.
tragedies like this, we must end the
Great, but...
Although the Sub-Zero's festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to create. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Huh? So...
Well, if this is someone's dream, then which means, with the power of imagination, they can change...
Imagination?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when a server at a tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that food is on it. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold, the dream will respond in kind. And the server really will. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, it will always
machen
be
wir das?
food. Find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming. Usually, once that happens,
How are we going to find them, though? If it could be anyone, it'd be... And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make... After all, like you said, don't wake up...
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two.
Ah ja.
As for me,
Out of town? Are you going to that place?
yes. I want to try something. Hurry
yeah.
and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of plot.
Okay.
Paimon still... She was such a good person.
Ja.
With such a simple wish. But fate was against her. Yeah. Saving... But... We mustn't lose hope, Traveler.
Ja.
Dunyarzad would definitely want... Paimon's wondering. Do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this dream? Feels...
Nein.
Huh. That's true. Plus, the sages probably weren't kept. So, who do you think the host of the dream is? Oh, that would make sense. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, and let's go ask him some questions.
Okay. Dann machen wir das. Oh, das ist so traurig. Sie hat es leider nicht geschafft. Ach Mensch. Aber es war ja klar, wenn wir so oft scheitern, ist halt irgendwann, ne? Und sie hat ja von vornherein nicht so viel Kraft gehabt. Ach ja. Dann pausieren wir gleich nochmal, weil ich den Timer nicht gestellt habe. So, bevor wir mit ihm reden, ne? Einmal kurz pausieren. So, dann machen wir mal weiter. Lösen wir diesen scheiß Traum auf. Es wird Zeit.
You're back. You left in a hurry last time.
Everything's fine. Just,
An experiment?
Ja.
That came out of nowhere. I'm listening.
could you make a wish?
You want me to make a wish? Is that a new...
Less questions, more
Okay. My wish. My wish. Okay.
Oh.
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down. She just doesn't seem like herself. She's always so gentle. I've also wondered if the reason she asked me to be Fairest Knight of Flowers is because
Yeah.
I'm special to her or something.
So, you...
No.
Oh, is it? When she placed the hat of the Knight of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, I want everyone to have a happy... What she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just wanted to be her Knight of Flowers for the rest of my life. Okay, yeah, that was a bit... Okay, I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
Bitte, bitte,
I'm
bitte, bitte.
gonna open my eyes. Oh,
What?
Faki! Sorry, but only one portion of Yelda can... Nice try, you two. Anyway, never mind. I don't need to see her.
Guess he isn't the host of this dream after all. Should have expected it wouldn't be this easy.
Schade. Aber wer ist es dann? Da hier?
It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her. But
My lady, step back.
that sounds like Dia! Oh, right. This is when Huh? But Dia can handle them!
Dia ist die Träumende.
Traveler?
Deswegen konnte sie auch was spüren. Weil sie träumt. Und deswegen möchte auch jeder, dass Dunyarzad glücklich ist, weil sie sich so um sie sorgt. Weil es ihre Gefühle sind. Ist es. Sie muss es sein.
Oh, it's you. Great timing. Please take... Hey, this is my job. The homie Yannis pay me, not you. You... fine, alright? Anyway, watch yourself.
Ja, ja.
So you got yourself some backup. Suit your...
A new punching bag.
Eyes on me!
Useless.
I'll be back. No more tricks up your sleeve.
That's close enough.
Ist da noch einer? Ah, da kommen noch welche. Wo denn? Da! Komm her, du.
Useless.
I'll be back.
So. Na, haben wir die erledigt?
Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys? You and Nahida both. Dunyarzad wouldn't... Oh,
Yeah.
and speaking of her, remember how during the first Sub-Zero's festival, before the Samsara started, we came here with... She said it was because she had forgotten something.
Ja.
Okay, so Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying somewhere